in just a moment. I'd like to welcome today's panelist, Gideon Logo, a legal practitioner and national development advocate. It looks like he will be the only one with me today. But now, to the main topic. About a week ago, Nigerians heard the news of Dangote Petroleum Refinery's plan to begin nationwide distribution of motor spirit diesel from August 15, 2025. The company said it is deploying 4,000 brand new compressed natural gas powered tankers to boost delivery capacity and improve access to fuel across the country, saying the offer is open to marketers, petrol station dealers, manufacturers, telecoms operators, aviation firms, and other large-scale fuel users. The refinery also disclosed plans to support distribution through the establishment of daughter booster CNG stations and a dedicated fleet of over 100 gas-powered tankers, adding that the logistics support, including free product delivery, was designed to eliminate distribution bottlenecks and bring down operational costs in key sectors of the economy. I'm now being joined by oil and gas Dangote, I said the Dangote Petroleum Refinery. Mr. Kunle, good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abati.
2 weeks ago, I was saying, you are a regular. Or not like oil and gas man.
Yeah, thank you.
It's good to see you.
And maybe now, related or other related issues.
Yeah, well, you are not just like that. But what is the significance of this? Dangote Refinery, upstream, right? I guess, to downstream, getting involved in the distribution directly. What does it mean? Dangote Refinery tells us, yes, it will reduce costs, is to help President Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, is to make life easier for the average consumer. The cost of PMS, yes, came down after that announcement, but it has gone up again, like an elevator, kind of it. So what is really significant about what is symbolic about it?
Thank you very much, Dr. Abati. Since I have the opportunity and the privilege to come to repeat some of the previous emphasis I have articulated and the strategic importance at this critical stage of our economic development. The Dangote refinery is in the midstream, not upstream. Okay, midstream. Upstream is the crude oil production, gas production. Then midstream is the one that refine and do your raw crude and gas. So this significance, very, very significant and historical of this decision to intervene in the logistic and distribution infrastructure support by Dangote with 4,000 CNG trucks is that government have tried it since 1973, 74, 75, go on era. They have tried, it didn't work. It became a big cancer. As this with everything in Nigeria, I've said it time without number. Petroleum Equalization Fund became a problem. So in actual sense, the subsidy became double tragedy. You were subsidizing haulage costs in Nigeria, so you were paying for volumes that you did not even know. You didn't know the exact volume you were bridging. You were bridging, costing, and covering. Then you did not know the exact volume that you were importing. So we were paying for imported products that we did not know the volume. If you remember, go back historically, they will tell you 60 million liters per day. They will tell you 70 million liters per day. Then later on, you don't even know how many million liters per day we were importing and subsidizing the price differential. Then after the product has arrived in Nigeria, the people to do bridging for you, we also never knew what is the volume they were moving. So we didn't know how we were paying for, from Lagos or from Port Harcourt or from Warri or from Calabar to the interland to all the petrol stations. We did not know the exact volume we were paying for. Till today, nobody still has given us the exact volume of what we pay for. So if Dangote refinery that has brought large-scale capacity to the marketplace now wants to assume that bridging responsibility, it means it's good for you and me. Why? We will now know the scientific number, the exact number that we bridge per day, because he will show us the volume that leave his refinery and go to all the petrol stations that pay, or the retailers that pay to him directly, or the end users that pay. So that will allow you know the quantum that he's covering for us. So if he's covering 40 million liters per day for us, we will now know that 40 million liters time maybe the bridging cost of about 10, 15 naira, maybe. We will know that is the quantum that Dangote refinery is absorbing for us, because he brought efficiency and optimization of resources to the marketplace. So this is the implication.
Okay, the reactions have been mixed. Some people say that this is an attempt by Dangote refinery and the Dangote group to create a monopoly for itself, midstream, downstream. Players within that chain, particularly owners of retail outlets operating under the name Petro1, they too have been complaining. Now, what happens to those other players? Is this an attempt by the Dangote refinery to create a monopoly and take over both midstream and downstream?
Thank you, Dr. Abati. We have a very large audience, a collection of Nigerians, an international audience who watch the program. I have repeated over and over that this new refining infrastructure that Dangote built in Lekki is not to come and become a monopolist. No, the existing refining capacity in Nigeria, 450,000 plus the mini refinery, just say maybe 500,000 barrels per day. If they are not delivering product to the market, Dr. Abati, and the new refinery built by Dangote is able to deliver product to the market, so where is the monopoly? If the people you mentioned now, Petronas or Ipman, if they have been doing middleman business, they did not invest to build refinery. They didn't build refinery. They were parasiting, as I said, on the NNPC PPMC arrangement, importation and local refining. The local refinery failed. All the local refinery failed. They become moribund and technically insolvent. So the regime of the last 10 years or 12 years have been to import, wholesale importation of all our petroleum product requirement. So the people who were taking this product from NNPC or from PPMC to deliver to petrol stations in Nigeria, so they become middlemen. They invested money in owning trucks and in owning tank firms to receive products from government monopoly. So if the situation now has come to become that the importation is not sustainable, the new refinery brought to the marketplace by Dangote now can meet the local market. So if that now say they don't want to flow with Dangote refinery, only to allege that he is a monopolist, you can see that there is that ambiguity they are bringing. I don't know where they are bringing it from. The arrangement you were having before has come to it has reached an end. So I don't they should the Petrans should allow their petrol station owners to buy refined product directly from Dangote refinery. See, government owned that they rely on cannot deliver product to them now. So
okay, if you say these retail players within the value chain have no reason to complain, legitimate reason to complain
at all, Doctor.
How about the regulatory authority? We have a midstream and downstream regulatory authority. Now, where does this leave that midstream and regulatory authority?
Thank you, Dr.
Is the Dangote refinery trying to bypass that regulatory?
No.
And where does this leave other refineries, including government-owned refineries?
Dr. Abati, thank you very much for bringing this. The regulatory authority if you know what make up the current regulatory body, midstream, downstream regulatory authority are being formed from 3 existing statutory bodies. Part of PPRA become MDRA now. PEF, Petroleum Equalization Fund, become NMDRA now. And part of DPR, Department of Petroleum Resources, become this midstream, downstream regulatory authority. Because this very body were the one superintending over product importation and depot management in Nigeria. The current structure of the midstream, downstream authority have lost moral and ethical status to even regulate the midstream, downstream, because they are compromised. They were the one that was approving allocation of importation. They were the one approving pro forma invoice. They were the one approving how many trucks you can get and you cannot get. So the place is just due for overhauling. The president has to overhaul that place. I said it last week on NTA program. I said I expect the president to move immediately without even wasting time. So the capacity for them to even regulate what is on ground now is not there from them. So
are you asking that the president should scrap?
No, not scrap. You just you overhaul. No, you overhaul it and you have to change the entire management, the leadership, and then that's what I mean. Yes, and then you now take the law, you take and look at it, and now call Dangote to the table and call the other people that have been in the industry, because they have been in the industry. You call them to the table and say, look, the reality is here with us. You cannot continue with the old order. The new order is here. How do we? So,
you want to remove food from the mouth of the people who are working in the midstream and downstream regulation.
No, this game is a life. It's a natural sequence of life, Dr. Abati. I said it. It's not removing food from our mouth. Look, you and me did not participate in that racket that they call fuel import and allocations all over the place. So, and did we not survive in Nigeria? So what is the percentage of the people that are in that business? What is the percentage? What critical mass impact do they make on this society? What is the total people involved in that racket? That we say of them, you cannot reorganize the industry. Okay, when people were importing cement, bulk cement into this country, what happened? When manufacturers of cement came in, Bois, Dangote, and Manga, and Lafarge, when they came in, where are those people importing bulk cement? Come to table. It's a transitional period. Dangote Refinery has given 2 months notice now. It's a transitional period. I expect a strong regulatory body to quickly intervene and work out the transition. So it's not, there is no sentiment about it. Every industry go through this cycle. Even our life will go through this cycle.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the statement issued by Tony Chejina, Dangote Refinery spokesperson, he said this is part of the renewed agenda for the better of Nigeria. I think Nigerians would like to know, how will this be of benefit to them?
Yes, it is of great benefit to Nigerians, because the middlemen that create all these add-on costs and disrupt the flow of product to their various petrol stations across the 774 local government of Nigeria, that clock is going to be removed. So it's part of the Renew Hope agenda, because it's part of the structural adjustment, part of the reform that President Tinubu is embarking upon. It's part of the entire reform of the political economy of Nigeria. This thing is very fundamental. People think this thing is just ordinary. It's part of the total reform. If I get product directly in my local government and all the bottlenecks are removed, that means I now have energy security, assurance, quality of the product.
Okay.
That is the meaning.
Okay. Of what relevance, value, sense, import is energy security in the context of the crisis that we have in the Middle East. The Strait of Hormuz is troubled. The Suez Canal is troubled. There's conflict between Israel and Iran. Even the Americans have put their leg and mouth on foot, in the conflict. Now, this is going to drive up costs, we're being told. Yeah. So, what will Nigerians gain in the immediate?
Yeah, Doctor.
Maybe we will get something beyond $75 per barrel benchmark, but that will drive up costs.
Yeah, Doctor. There's no part of the world that is insulated from geopolitical escalations such as this. It is, however remote may be your location in the world from where crisis erupted, the vibration will get to you at a later day and time. What happened between Ukraine and Russia? You remember who took advantage? America. America is now number one in LNG supply in the whole world. Production and supply, LNG. America used to import LNG from Nigeria, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002. So they took advantage of the escalation between Ukraine and Russia, and they mass produced gas, and today they are the largest producer of LNG and supplier of LNG. So the situation between Iran and Israel is going to create depending on how long it will last. But if you de-escalate rapidly, the effect will not last long. It will not linger for long. But if they cannot de-escalate faster, then you will see the implication is that we will have energy inflation. Energy inflation propel inflation in every segment of our life, including bargaining salon. So I feel that Nigeria, by location, by geographical location, should take advantage if possible, because if the escalation continues, there will be blockade in those straits of Hormuz you mentioned, and the flow of crude of about 26 million may be impaired. About 12 million white products passes through those channels every day, so they may be impaired. And once they are impaired, there will be shortage. So if Nigeria can rapidly increase production of crude and gas, we will earn some reasonable money to at least cover part of the deficit we already have. So it's unfortunate that people are dying somewhere, some people are making gain out of their death. So I'm not happy about escalation. It's not good, but okay, that is like the war.
We're still talking about the effect on the ordinary Nigerian.
Yeah.
Dangote Refinery is saying, look, they will make available about 100 CNG powered vehicles to deliver to the end user. Now, 100 and more CNG trucks on Nigerian roads. Isn't that going to further compound agony for ordinary travelers around Nigeria? No, knowing how these truck drivers behave.
Doctor, I hope you know that these 100 trucks, Doctor, is to carry the CNG vessels to daughter stations. So they are very important. In fact, they are the bridgers. We call them bridgers. They are the bridgers. So they will take from mother station CNG vessels to daughter stations across the country, depending on how Dangote refines spread gas stations. They work out their logistics. So the 4,000 trucks that takes CNG from anywhere, each of those trucks can do 1,400 kilometers before they look for the nearest daughter station to go and refill their fuel. Okay, the advantage of this, Doctor, is more than the disadvantage. Dangote is the largest road builder in Nigeria today. So the roads are challenged over the years because you and me know the ecology, the soil, the water. So the mode of road construction in the past is changing. We have to go to concrete road. If you drive from Obagena to Kaba, my hometown, you will see it's concrete road. So it's solid road. So these 4,000 will further trigger road reconstruction in Nigeria. Because at the moment, to build railway that we move all these things, it takes more capital, it takes more time. You can build road rapidly, faster, than to build railway, than to build pipelines. So it's chicken and egg. You don't know which one to go, but the limited choice we have today is road.
Okay.
To move everything by road. Okay. That is the limited choice we have.
Just to summarize the issue about oil and gas and Dangote's strategy with regard to distribution. Other players in the downstream sector, marketers specifically, met with the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy. I think yesterday, where they presented their concerns, their grievances. Now, do you think that they have nothing to talk about and they are just afraid for nothing? Considering the fact that they are major holders and they feel threatened by what Dangote Refinery is trying to do.
Dr. Abati, they were major stakeholders. They were. When
they are still in that market. They are still
they are
not going to fold up their business because
we are not asking
another man's business.
We are not asking them to fold up. Dr. Abati, this thing is a natural sequence. Nobody asks them. Nobody. Look, Dr. Abati, let me tell you one thing. These people that have been importing and rentiering, what is the structure of their business? The minister for the coordinating minister for economy is a public office. Chief Wale Edu is holding that office on trust for us. Any group in Nigeria can go to visit him and say all their problems to him now. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty, he has to draw the line now. We are talking about the macroeconomic aspect of what they are doing. We know it. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty, we also know that is beyond what they are talking about. So they can visit. This is democracy. Nobody is stopping anybody from visiting the minister. But the issue is this, my brother. 20 million liters, they claim. I read it. I'm even happy you brought the question. They said they are doing 20 million liters per day. The same people told us they were doing 60 million, 70 million liters per day in the past. All